Imagine, for a moment, you are leaving the world of sun and air behind. You are slipping beneath the surface of a warm, tropical sea. The light of the sun dances above you, sending shimmering rays down into the deep blue. The noise of the world above fades away. It is replaced by a gentle, quiet hum. This is a place of wonder. It is a world filled with secrets and incredible life. You are floating now, weightless and free. The water holds you as you slowly drift downwards, deeper into a kingdom of color and movement that few ever get to see. Now, let the journey truly begin. As you descend further, the blue water seems to hold its breath, waiting to reveal its treasures. Below you, a city of life emerges from the gentle haze. This is the Coral Kingdom. It is a vibrant metropolis, built by tiny creatures over thousands of years. Towers of coral reach up towards the light, colored in shades of pink, colored in shades of yellow, colored in shades of purple. Fish, like tiny jewels, dart in and out of the intricate structures. This is a busy, bustling world. Everything here is connected. Every creature, from the smallest shrimp to the largest turtle, has a role to play in this delicate underwater ballet. As your eyes adjust to the breathtaking beauty of the reef, you begin to notice something special. Dotted across the landscape are shapes that seem both familiar and alien. They are not fish. They do not swim in the same way. They cling to the rocks and the sand, like living jewels scattered on the ocean floor. These are the stars of the sea. They are the starfish. They come in an amazing variety of colors and patterns. Some are bright orange, others are a deep royal blue, or a brilliant fiery red. They are nature's own masterpieces of design. These creatures, properly called sea stars, are one of the reef's most iconic residents. They seem so still, so calm, but that could not be further from the truth. Each sea star is a complex animal with a fascinating life. They are ancient beings, having lived in the oceans for millions of years. Today, they continue their slow, deliberate existence, playing a vital role in the health of the Coral Kingdom. How do they survive in a world of constant motion? The waves above crash and churn. The tides pull the water back and forth with immense power. Yet the sea star remains. It holds on, a symbol of quiet strength and resilience. How does it move without fins? How does it eat without a mouth in the way we understand it? These are the questions that spark our curiosity. By looking closely at these incredible animals, we can learn so much. In our journey together, we will dive deep into the life of the sea star. We will follow them as they explore their coral home. Let's get closer. Let's look past the simple, five-pointed shape and see the living, breathing animal within. The story of the starfish is waiting to be told, and it starts right here, on the colorful floor of the Coral Kingdom. Let's begin understanding the very world the sea star calls home. Imagine the ocean as a giant, living creature. It breathes in and out twice a day. This breath is the tide. First, the water slowly pulls away from the shore, drawn by the distant pull of the moon. This is low tide. Then, the ocean breathes in. The water rushes back, covering the land it just exposed. This is high tide. Far above the sea floor, the wind whips the ocean into a frenzy. These are the waves. The water surges back and forth, a powerful, invisible force that can sweep away anything not firmly anchored. The sea star must be perfectly adapted to withstand this relentless motion, holding on tightly to its chosen spot while the world sways around it. The sea star is a master of finding these perfect little pockets of stability. The coral reef is not just a random collection of rocks. It is a city, built by billions of tiny animals called coral polyps. Over thousands of years, these tiny creatures build hard skeletons around themselves. This slow, patient process creates the massive, intricate structures we see. Branching corals that look like trees. Massive brain corals. The vibrant colors come from tiny algae that live inside the coral's tissues. The coral provides the algae with a safe place to live. The algae provide the coral with food through photosynthesis. This partnership is what fuels the entire reef ecosystem. It creates a rainbow of life. The structure of the reef is a complex, three-dimensional maze. This complexity is crucial for the health of the reef. It provides an incredible number of places for creatures to live. Places to hide, places to hunt, places to raise their young. For a slow-moving creature like a sea star, this structure is everything. The very architecture of the reef is what makes the sea star's life possible. Let's zoom in on one of the most accessible parts of the sea star's world, the shallow tide pools. Here, life is lived on an extreme edge. It is a place of constant, dramatic change, and only the toughest creatures can survive here. Sea stars are often the kings and queens of these small kingdoms. Here, they have access to a buffet of food. To survive, sea stars have to be smart about where they position themselves. They are masters of using the microgeography of their tiny pool to their advantage. Now, let's travel away from the turbulent shore and descend into the deeper parts of the reef. The colors appear different here. This is a more stable, serene world. Life on the deeper reef is less about surviving constant change and more about adapting to constant pressure. Sea stars found in these deeper waters are often larger. Species like the sunflower sea star can have over 20 arms. From the frantic tide pools to the calm, dark depths, they have found a way to thrive in almost every corner of the ocean's floor. Regardless of whether they live in the shallows or the deep, all sea stars share a common need, the need for shelter. A sea star, being a slow-moving creature, cannot outrun danger. Its primary strategy for survival is to be difficult to find. They use flexible arms to squeeze into tight crevices in the rock or under coral ledges. Another form of shelter is a strong grip. When a strong wave or current surges, a sea star can clamp down with incredible force. Finally, some sea stars find shelter through their own defenses. For them, their own body is their shelter. To understand how a sea star moves, we must first look inside. A sea star has no bones. It has no muscles in the way we think of them. Instead, its body is built around a remarkable and unique system. It is called the water vascular system. The sea star draws seawater into its body through a special opening on its top surface, called a madreporite. This internal ocean is the secret to the sea star's power. The system of canals branches out from the center of the body and runs down the length of each arm. If you were to gently turn a sea star over, you would see something amazing. These are the sea star's tube feet. When the sea star pushes water into a foot, the foot extends. When it draws water out, the foot retracts. The sea star can slowly drag its body forward. It does not walk on its feet like we do. It glides. The tips of the feet are sensitive to chemicals in the water. It can taste the water with its feet, getting a picture of the world around it. The movement of a sea star is a lesson in patience. It is the definition of slow motion. The sea star has no need to hurry. Its food is often even slower than it is. The sea star does not chase its prey, it simply advances upon it. If a sea star is flipped onto its back, it does not panic. It will slowly begin to curl the tips of a few arms, then slowly cartwheel itself back over. Watching a sea star move is like watching a form of meditation. It is a reminder that there is strength in slowness. One of the most astonishing facts about the sea star is what it lacks. It has no brain. Instead of a single brain, the sea star has a nerve net. Each arm can act somewhat independently. One arm might take the lead, sensing the direction of food, and the other arms will follow. This body plan has incredible advantages. It makes the sea star extremely resilient. It can lose an arm or even several arms and still function. At each arm tip, the sea star has a very simple eye. It only senses light and dark. That's enough to find shelter or to know whether it's day or night. So, what does a sea star actually do all day? For much of the day, a sea star may appear to be doing nothing at all. When conditions are right, perhaps as the light fades, the sea star begins to move. A sea star also engages in a form of cleaning. These tiny claws are constantly working to remove small organisms, algae, and debris. This cycle of resting, hunting, and cleaning is the rhythm of the sea star's life. It is a life of simple imperatives: find food, avoid being eaten, and stay put. Now we come to one of the most bizarre and fascinating behaviors: the way a sea star eats. It begins to pull, not quick or violent, a slow, relentless war of attrition. Eventually, the muscle fatigues, a tiny gap appears, less than a millimeter. It pushes its stomach out of its mouth and into the shell. The sea star digests its meal outside its body. When finished, it retracts the stomach back inside. Only the empty muscle shell remains. The infamous crown of thorns starfish, for example, feeds almost exclusively on living coral polyps. Other sea stars are not hunters at all, scavengers. They play the vital role of cleanup crew on the reef floor. By eating mussels, they prevent them from taking over rock faces. This makes the sea star a keystone species. The hunter's menu is not just a list of foods, it's a description of the sea star's influence on the world around it. Perhaps the most legendary power of the sea star is its incredible ability to heal and regenerate. This power of regeneration is possible because of the sea star's decentralized body plan. If a sea star is torn in half, it can sometimes result in two complete new sea stars. This is a form of asexual reproduction. Being able to sacrifice a limb to escape is a life-saving advantage. The life of a sea star begins not as a tiny star, but as something completely different. The resulting larva, known as a biponaria larva, looks nothing like its parents. For weeks or even months, this tiny larva will drift with the ocean currents. The vast majority of larvae will not survive. It undergoes a truly radical transformation, a metamorphosis as dramatic as a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. A tiny miniature sea star is now ready to begin its life on the reef floor. Despite their armor and regenerative abilities, sea stars are not invincible. Beyond natural predators, sea stars face a growing number of threats caused by humans. Pollution from coastal runoff, ocean warming, can cause coral bleaching, destroying the sea star's habitat and food source. In recent years, a devastating illness called sea star wasting syndrome has caused mass die-offs, a gruesome sign that our oceans are under immense stress. Destructive fishing practices also pose a threat. Trawling can crush and destroy entire communities of bottom-dwelling animals, including sea stars. We have journeyed together into a hidden world. We have learned that it is so much more than a simple, five-pointed shape. The sea star is a vital thread in the rich tapestry of the reef. Its presence helps to maintain the delicate balance that allows the entire ecosystem to thrive. This journey into the sea star's world brings with it a responsibility. These quiet creatures are now asking for our help. By caring for our oceans, by making conscious choices, we can help protect these incredible animals. The stars of the sea floor are a treasure worth preserving for all the generations to come. Our journey must now come to an end. We must return to the surface, leaving the quiet world of the sea star behind. But let us carry the memory of its silent strength and strange beauty with us. Let its story inspire us to be more curious, more aware. Thank you so much for watching.